Hi everyone, it's Tim here, and welcome back to that Eurovision site, Eurovision with a Slice of Life. Taking things a bit different because we are in Madrid, as you can see by our flags and whatever Neil is wearing. And we're here for of course, Junior Eurovision, which is taking place at the time of recording tomorrow. And obviously, I'm joined by Neil from Eurovoix and Madlen to just talk about the jury rehearsal that took place, like literally a few hours ago. So, roll VT. We just came back from watching the jury show, which takes into account 50% of the vote for tomorrow's show. And let me start with you, Madlen. And I was showing, and because you told me earlier on that you haven't listened to the songs that much. What did you think of the show overall?
Yeah, I heard the songs in their entirety for the first time. And song-wise, I think the show is great. There is not a single song that you could say is not good. All of them are great in their own way. But as a production, I guess this Junior Eurovision is slightly different from the ones we've seen in the past.
How about you, Neil?
Slightly different is one way of putting it. Unlike Madlen, I had listened to the songs beforehand quite a lot before the show, and I was impressed with the staging of most of the songs. I think they came across really well. But certain elements of production just didn't sit entirely right with me.
We'll touch upon that later on. But for me, I would just say that all the participants did a great job, especially doing this at such a young age. That's a lot of pressure on them, and everyone was cheering along in the arena. So I'm guessing that's one good thing, is that there was no one, being kind of negative and being a
that's
D-bag.
the thing with Junior Eurovision, that you see from close how talented the kids are and how professional they are in everything they do. So that is a constant every year.
And also just, to echo what Tim said, everyone that got up on stage, congratulations to you all for doing that. Like, I know when we were their ages, we probably wouldn't have been doing the same thing. So to get up on the stage at your ages and to do that, very well done.
Yeah. Okay, then moving on. Obviously, the 22nd edition of Junior Eurovision Song Contest was organised by...
And today is its 21st birthday.
Oh.
Because on this day, when we're recording in 2003, the very first Junior Eurovision Song Contest was held in Copenhagen.
Well, okay then. Well, in front of that, this year's edition was organised by RTV, and RTV hasn't hosted a modern Eurovision event. What was it? It was 1969, wasn't it?
Yeah, so 55 years ago.
So, how does RTV stand in terms of like producing this? Because we obviously know they produced Benidorm Fest for like the last few years actually. So actually, on this, how do you think they did?
Well, to be honest, I'm a little bit confused to have like a country like Spain that has been absolutely crying out to host a Eurovision event for years now and saying like, oh, like we have the perfect venue if we ever get to host any Eurovision thing again. And then to see the production tonight, especially around the graphics and the use of AI in postcards, it didn't really feel right. And especially using AI on children, I find that a little bit unethical as well. But as for the sound quality, I think it was pretty okay, and also I have to add, the stage confuses me just a little bit because it looks like there's a giant smartphone just watching over everyone, and maybe it's a symbol that our smartphones are watching over us at all times, and we need to be vigilant.
What about you, Madlen?
Yeah, I was excited that Spain is going to host their first modern Eurovision event, as Neil said. But I can't get past the criticism of the generative AI usage because it is way too much, especially in the postcards. If people were complaining about the Eurovision postcards in Turin, for example, for looking weird, tomorrow I think the same will happen with the postcards that we have here. And of course, with the exaggerated AI graphics, which literally almost every act has. And yeah, I don't know what the reasoning is. Of course, we did see in Benidorm Fest that Sora did use AI graphics as well, but there are so many talented artists that you could have to work for you because Junior Eurovision is a huge event. So them relying on generative AI is a choice.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like there were some performances that, like, if you follow me on social media, and I've already kind of commented on it, where one of the entries does have a bit of an ending where made me feel uncomfortable towards the end, and I was just like, I think I'm gonna have nightmares. But why on earth is Junior Eurovision giving me nightmares, and I don't know why.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, no. Dan's in the back. Dan's in the back, just like watching us, and I'm just like, showed us a picture from that performance, and I'm like,
Let's just say that Polish special effects took a special twist this time.
I will just say these effects are not just kinda crazy; they're very crazy.
You just had to, didn't you?
My main goal of this is to make you die by laughter, and I think I'm succeeding so far.
Okay, but I will say though, like, you know, as much as we're happy for RTV being able to host, and there's a lot of heavy criticism, like, you know, it's for the kids at the end of the day. Like, they've done a great job, and we are emphasizing this very hard that none of this should be taken as we're criticizing the participants, because we're not. And
I will add something that I do like about this year, that every year there has been something built on like child protection and child welfare, because, you know, this is, like, we all know the adult contest can be very, like, it is very stressful for anyone who decides to enter. So making this experience as stress-free as possible is working. And we even saw, like, the pajama party a few days ago organized by the Italian delegation. Like kids should not be stressed. They are far too young for that. And just seeing all the kids coming together and just forming friendships and just having a really good time, like, just by that alone, like, that is important, and I'm glad that's been achieved.
yeah.
Another positive thing that I would add is that the audience was full of kids. We could hear their cheers, especially Spanish kids. So you'll hear it tomorrow during the show as well. That's something that we should remember, that Junior Eurovision is also made by kids for kids.
Yeah, and it's been fun just like watching it along. I think, like, you know, there was no, it's like, it's just fun, a fun vibe, wasn't it? But anyways, let's move on to the entries and actually talk about what we thought of them. Okay, I'm going to ask you, who, out of all the 17 that we saw tonight, who stood out for you, and who do you think might be a dark horse? I'll start with you, Madlen.
Well, for dark horses, I can't say, but I think the top 5 is pretty much certain in my eyes. I would say Portugal, Spain, and Ukraine first, and I would add Armenia and France to end the top 5 podium. I think it's pretty clear from the audience reaction to those songs that they will be well liked, and I think they did well in their jury performances. But it will still be hard because I don't feel like there is one song that really outshines the rest. We'll have a competitive final this year, I feel.
How about you, Neil?
If I'm to think of who really impressed me tonight, Portugal and Ukraine were my two standouts. I think they were absolutely flawless vocals, great stage presence, really good staging as well that told the story of the song. I also have to obviously here give a little shout out to Ireland. I think Ireland Not being biased or anything, but I think Ireland...
Sure.
Well, we'll ask you about North Macedonia and see how you feel. I thought Ireland had a really strong vocal performance tonight, and really, really, really fun and colourful performance. So I hope Enya does very well tomorrow. But if I'm thinking of a dark horse, I'm going to say Georgia, because I think Georgia had one of the best vocal performances of the night. Like, his voice quality is just so rounded, so pure, so like it's actually a little bit scary how good he can sing at such a young age. Like, it's just such a well-rounded, well-trained voice. And yeah, I mean, it is Georgia and Junior Eurovision we're talking about, so you can never fully count them out.
I mean, come on, a Rani na winner, like...
Exactly.
Yeah. I think for me, like, okay, I mean, I'm just gonna get that bias out of the way. Like, I like North Macedonia. It's fun, okay? Like, I relate, and I am gonna run like a marathon, but I mean, I'm not, but like, you know.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Marathon running is for everyone. I can say that from experience.
Dan is just in the background and like giving me the pretends to be shocked meme that I always try and use. But yeah, no, props to them, because I mean, you know, everyone has their own stand countries. Like, mine is no different, and I don't know where they'll end up on the scoreboard, but I just like seeing Anna and Alexei having fun on stage, like all of the participants should be. But looking at mine as a dark horse, I'd say Malta. Malta, like, first of all, Malta seeing fully in Maltese.
We love to see that.
Yeah, which I hope they do in Eurovision, because have they ever, Mr. Encyclopedia?
Have they ever performed fully in Maltese before?
Yeah.
Their two first entries in 1971 and 1972 were fully in Maltese.
A
So
long time ago, was it?
yeah.
A very long time ago.
So yeah, very overdue. And you know, we were very close. Like, we had one in MESC, and I hope that follows suit. And you know, it doesn't matter that you don't understand what Ramirez is singing. I mean, the visuals are there, but I would say that his performance is very convincing, very heartfelt, and very emotional. And actually gave me shivers when I was watching it. I was like, please don't make me cry. I'm about to watch this. Like, I know that there's a deep meaning to it, and you know, and I hope he gets the result he deserves, because like, people, artists performing last don't really bode well, and I really hope, you know, that's not too bad, and it actually gets the result it deserves for something that's so momentous for Malta anyways. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. But one of the final things I wanted to ask you guys, I mean, I don't know if you've mentioned it, so who's your top three? Like, did you say yours in order? Or
For the first three, I'm pretty sure that the top three is locked for Portugal, Spain.
wait, is that your
It's
personal
prediction wise.
Okay, your personal.
Personal.
Yeah,
I
your
mean,
personal. Oh,
I
sorry.
have a flag in my hand. Okay, we're sharing our biases here, so I might as well do it. Armenia was great. Armenia once again shows young talent, and we can see Malena's influence also.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case, but when I hear the backing vocals, I feel like it's her voice.
Yeah.
It sounds like her.
I mean, she is part of the track.
She's part of the songwriting team of the track, yeah. So Armenia is great, and I wouldn't mind going back to Yerevan before Eurovision Young Musician happens. And the rest of my top three are Portugal and Ukraine.
How about you?
Ooh, can I come back to you in like 5 business days? Okay. Based on tonight's performances and my own feelings beforehand and how they've changed, say top three, Portugal, Ukraine, and Ireland.
Okay, what order? Just to make sure I got that clear.
So in first, second, third.
Okay.
First is Portugal, second is
Okay.
Ukraine, and third is Ireland. Please vote for Ireland, by the way.
Oh, come on. Why'd you really have to be like that? Okay, well...
Because we're a small nation.
And voting lines are open.
Yeah, they should be open by the time this is published and still be open, and we'll close it. What was it? 5:59, like 1 minute before the show starts.
Yeah, 5:59 Central European time.
Okay, but let's move on to me. Well, obviously, like as much as I have my stand, like very different when it comes to my personal top three. Third, I've actually been debating so hard which entry I will put into that. But I will say I wouldn't be surprised if Spain is on there, so I'm chucking it because like whatever it is, like whenever we go to we've been to a few Junior Eurovision, and whenever those countries on, it's just like the vibe is just immaculate and everyone's just like being happy and jumping along. So I'm putting Spain as in a third. Second, I would say Ukraine, because Artem delivers such a convincing vocal on it, and having to juggle the choreography, I'm literally mesmerized by how he's done that at such a young age. Like, even I can't do that. I couldn't do that when I was that age.
Can I add for Ukraine that he's also, for me, the Mr. Congeniality of this edition, because I just seen him supporting the other artists all the time, and his dancers were dancing throughout the entire evening whenever someone else was on stage as well. So good for him.
Yeah. My number one, not a Greece reference there, is of course Portugal, and that's something that will surprise Rory because he's the biggest Portugal stan. And also, it's also not because I interviewed Victoria Nicole. Let me just put that out there. I think she's a great performer and really gave a heartfelt performance. And I don't know what it is, but why is it girls named Victoria? It just make me want to cry.
Oh God, not this
In
again.
the name.
And let's not get a little dramatic here. But I would say that, Portugal has worked so hard in the past few years trying to just improve, like ever since Yerevan, wasn't it? Like they got their best result and they're just going on, they just keep on going. I think this might be the closest they'll get, but I would really love it if they can get across the finish line. But,
It would be very poetic if Portugal wins in Spain.
And it would also be very refreshing for France not to win yet again. I know that's a bit rich coming from an Irish person, and everyone was complaining about us in the 90s. That's rich when it's coming from me.
Bye, boy. Okay, but all right, then we're gonna round this off on one little thing. What is the one highlight the audience should look out for tomorrow?
I really like the Common song in Junior Eurovision because it's a moment where all participants sing together and they have fun on stage. And tomorrow in the Common songs we have some special guests as well. I won't spoil too much.
Well, it's already out anyways. They already confirmed it this morning.
Okay. So I will spoil then. No, but I really like that Zoe and Sandra joined for the opening act, and by Maria Isabel as well, who is a Spanish legend. So yeah, that was one of the highlights for me. It's a shame that it's in the beginning, but then it prepares your mood for the rest of the night.
Yeah, the very first Spanish Junior Eurovision winner.
I'm the only one.
Yeah.
I am a little bit disappointed that we're not getting Antes Muerta que Cynthia 20 years anniversary edition. That would have been a slay. But what else? What other highlight of the show is there? I'd say for tomorrow you can just expect some of the best young talent this continent has to offer. Like this year is very strong song wise, and you can see that in pretty much all the entries. So yeah, that would be my highlight tomorrow. Realizing how much young talent there is, and maybe some of them will go on to bigger and better things. Maybe some of them might come back to Eurovision when they're a little bit older, or maybe some of them will be like world stars after tomorrow's show.
Or maybe some of them will become physicists like Ralph from the Netherlands.
That was quite the career change. But at least he's still proud of Junior Eurovision, and he came back in Yerevan to perform Click Clack again.
And even did it the other week during like there's like a junior song festival concert.
Oh yeah, het grote Junior Songfestival feest, and he was there too, as were quite a lot of the past Dutch artists as well. So yes, Junior Eurovision is something to be proud of and something to cherish, and hopefully you will cherish tomorrow's show.
Whew, you've all taken my answers, but I will say that I'm just looking forward to just having like fun and just like everyone just seeing what the show is about. You know, there might be criticisms, but at the end of the day, it's just the talent that goes out and everyone can enjoy like what we've seen tonight, and hopefully, you know, I know that the timeline will be very divisive on certain things, but
it's the timeline. It's always going to be divisive.
No, but like really divisive. But, you know, and I really hope that doesn't overshadow the talent of the young artists who have worked so hard to get where they are right now.
Yeah. And also, if you are planning on commenting anything online about the kids, think twice before you say something nasty, because, you know, they are kids. You wouldn't have liked someone saying something nasty to you when they were your age. So
you can just set a line between criticizing the contest and organizers and appreciating the children's talent.
Yeah.
And you can criticize without being mean as well. Mm-hmm. So
But anyways, that's our thoughts. Junior Eurovision 2024 will air tomorrow, November 16 at 6 p.m. Central European time. You can watch it online or through your local broadcaster if they are participating. I'd like to thank Neil and Madlen for joining me. Neil, where can we follow you and your lot?
So you can follow me over on Eurovoix.com. We are on all the social medias. We are on YouTube as well. We have a few artist interviews as well. And you can also expect a very special episode of the Eurovoix podcast coming soon, which is going to focus mainly on Junior Eurovision 2024.
And how about you, Madlen?
I'm part of EurovisionBulgaria.com. Apart from our website, we're on Instagram at BG Eurovision and YouTube.
And for us, if you don't already know, we're at thateurovisionsite.com, obviously, at That Your Site on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. Whew, it does not get easier anytime I say that. But if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, push the notification bell to be one of the first people to find out when we have a new video. And shall we say adios?
Adios. Hasta luego, Mari Carmen.